All right, the NFL Combine is underway out in Indianapolis, the annual tradition as they really turn the page and get locked in on what's going to be a brand new NFL season. Joined by our Texans insider for ClicksHouston.com, Aaron Wilson. Aaron, you are out there in Indianapolis. Things are underway, and on Tuesday, what is today? Tuesday now. You've got Texas General Manager Nick Caserio. You were there. I saw the interview as well. He covered a variety of topics, did he?
Yeah, interesting conversation, Randy, with Nick, especially his comments about CJ Stroud and Joe Mixon. And I think there was some certainty in some of his comments and then some really strong clues about the direction in other areas.
I want to real quick, we're going to drop in part of that soundbite from Nick Caserio. We want people to take a look. We'll play that now and react to it.
He's our quarterback. He ain't going anywhere. We have a lot of confidence, a lot of belief. I mean, I'd say the philosophy that D'Amico and I have, we're going to support our players and do everything we can to kind of help them. And this league's about ups and downs. I mean, nothing's perfect. I mean, there's no team that's undefeated unless I missed something this year. So that's not going to happen. We have a lot of confidence in CJ. We got a lot of confidence in our players, and I'm glad he's our quarterback.
All right, that was GM Nick Caserio earlier today. Pretty much straight to the point, Aaron. He's our quarterback. We're riding with CJ Stroud. Not a shocker. You and I have talked about it on Sports Sunday. They're not moving away from CJ Stroud. I will add, though, it's a pretty important year coming up for him.
Pivotal year, Randy, and they are committed to him for this year, but notice that he didn't say anything about 2027. He talked about 2026, and I thought that was a little bit telling. Obviously, they have a decision to make. Are you committing to him long-term? Are you going to do an extension within the next 12 months, or is he going to play in 2027 under the fifth-year option? Might you trade him at this point? Right now, obviously, there is no option. There's no Joe Burrow. There's no rookie coming in here. It's CJ Stroud and Davis Mills. And I asked the question, and I knew what kind of answer I was going to get. It kind of teed it up for him, and he said, "Yeah, those trade rumors are, quote, moronic." Moronic is a strong word. That means really, really dumb in the Webster's Dictionary.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to clear the air because he met with you and some other local reporters there after, or maybe it was before his podium where the national reporters were there. And that was a top question that was going to be asked when you're coming off. And we've discussed it since the season ended. You're coming off back-to-back games where, man, it was just a meltdown for CJ. In the previous 5 or 6 games before that, he wasn't that bad. Coming off his concussion, played at a decent level. But, man, in Pittsburgh and New England, it was ugly football, and it was cause for concern. That's not going to go away. I mean, how do you feel this is going to play out when OTAs begin, the mandatory mini camps, and, of course, big training camp? This is going to be continually be asked, can he handle the pressure?
Right, Randy, the conversation doesn't end just because people want it to. The only way he can really change that narrative is through his actions, not his words. And I know that he's hard at work and he's determined to make some changes. I'm not just talking about his fresh new haircut. I'm talking about accuracy, taking care of the football, and making some plays. And I hope that he'll get comfortable enough again. And this is not an excuse, but maybe an explanation. I wonder if the concussion affected his game some and shook his faith a little bit in terms of his confidence in running and ad-libbing and improvising. And I think that's an underrated part of his game. If that comes back and if he's comfortable again and not thinking about the head injury, and I'm speculating here because he says it's not an issue, but in my opinion, it was. And if I'm right, maybe he can go back to where he was at some really good stretches in the regular season. I mean, they don't win the Kansas City game without CJ Stroud's contributions. He was a big part of that 10-game winning streak that Davis Mills kicked off with 3 wins in a row. So I look at it, Randy, and I think certainly he can bounce back. Will he bounce back? We just don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, we all know he has done it before, like you said, but it's being compared to, and I don't know if it's fair or unfair. You know, you're hearing some of the national so-called experts saying he's regressed big time in season 2 and 3 following that rookie season where he was just at an elite level at that point, which blew everybody away. He even got some MVP talk on that rookie year of all things.
Right.
But he's really, last couple of years, gradually taking steps backwards. Now, is it on CJ? This is like I think we can talk about it till we're blue in the face. I mean, he's had offensive coordinator changes. He hasn't really had a great surrounding cast around him. So what's fair when we break down CJ Stroud, and is it going to take getting pieces around him and then seeing how he responds?
Right. It hasn't been ideal circumstances, to say the least, Randy. So what happens when he has a better offensive line, a bell cow running back, maybe some developing weapons with the receivers, those young guys like Jaden Higgins? What if they take the next step? So if you get to that point, then perhaps we can see the best of CJ Stroud, the Heisman Trophy finalist caliber guy, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, it doesn't just go away. It's not like we haven't seen flashes in the last year. I mean, that was something that Warren Moon even said. He's one of CJ Stroud's biggest defenders and champions, where he talked about, I was at an event with him, and he said, hey, I think that CJ, his offensive line, it finally caught up with him. They missed Trent Brown in that divisional round game. That threw them for a curve. They had to shuffle the line one more time, and they didn't block particularly well. But what concerns me is the decision making, because those are choices, and he doesn't have to throw the ball up when he's under pressure like that. He could eat it. They've got to coach that into him, and he's got to be coachable. And there are some things that CJ needs to improve, and he's acknowledged that. And I feel like CJ is a coachable young man, and he's only 24 years old, and that was something that was reinforced with Nick Cassera in our conversation with him. Hey, the guy's young, and there's been some ups and downs, but he's not the only quarterback to go through these things. Even older quarterbacks like Josh Allen, that wasn't a good ending to his playoff run either. And Justin Herbert a year ago, 4 interceptions. So I think we got to be, somewhat measured in this and think CJ is like these other quarterbacks. When they face a great defense, they don't look so great. That means that the parts around him, they've got to carry him a little bit. And if that means him managing the game sometimes, and just what did Bill Parcells used to say? Every successful offensive drive should end in a kick, meaning a extra point, a field goal, or a punt. It should never be a turnover. And I think he's got to really take that to heart and do that.
Couple of quick hits, if we can, before we wrap it up, and we'll talk more during the week as well. But what are you hearing on Tank Dell, the progress he's making right now, coming off, obviously, just a devastating injury and a long road to recovery? From what I've seen of his posts, he's been posting a little bit over the last couple of weeks of workouts. I know that's encouraging to see that. In your opinion, do you think we'll see him up close to 100% by OTAs and minicamp, or is this something they'll take their time with going into big camp?
The fact that they say he was, trying to return at the end of the season, they felt like that was viable at one point. That says to me that he does some level of activity in the OTAs. Maybe it's the individual drills. I wonder if they keep him out of the team stuff, Randy, and save that for training camp. But I think it's close. It's been a long time, and normally with an injury like this, even a devastating one like that, you will make some progress to the point that you can practice again. And a big thing too, and everybody talked about this and went a little bit viral. Those sticks he's got for legs, those giddy up sticks, they're still skinny, but you can see there's a little bit of atrophy on the bad leg, the one that he tore up. So he's working hard. It's hard for him to get very big, and he's always been 165 pounds. And when he was carrying those 100-pound dumbbells, that fireman's carry, I thought pretty good. I know that he's working hard every day, and I would never bet against someone as resilient as Tank. He's overcome a lot of tough things in his life, including, getting shot and the broken leg and a lot of things that he's had happen to him. So this is the latest setback, but, he's shown a resilience and a toughness to him and a perseverance. Tank's always been the underdog, right? So
I can't wait for him to get back out there. I know it's going to be an emotional time for him and for the fan base, because that fan base grew certainly with what he was able to do at University of Houston and with the Texans. Hey, real quick, what's the week kind of shake out? You're there. Tell us what do they do every day starting, let's say tomorrow? There's going to be workouts starting tomorrow, right?
Right.
Texans brass are there as well. They'll be evaluating. I know D'Amico is going to come later in the week for a meeting, but not necessarily for the combine part of it. But next several days, is it just random workouts for the position guys?
Right. It's individual position groups, and they do testing, including the bench press and the 40-yard dash, the vertical leap, and they do some other events, including the short shuttle, L drill, all that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
as far as D'Amico Ryans, I know a lot of fans were concerned, like, why isn't D'Amico going? So because they elected him to the competition committee, he had to come here early, and he's going to be here through Thursday, and he'll be a part of these interviews and watching the drills in the stands. So he's going to be right here with Nick Caserio, and some of his coaches are going to make the trip to Indy for a couple days. I've heard that Cole Popovich is going to be here for some of the offensive line, and I think the fans would like to hear that. And he's
so D'Amico will be there. D'Amico will be there to watch talent, or just meet.
Yes, yeah, no, he's here for everything. He's going to stay here for the next. He's been here actually before Nick, because once they elected him to the competition committee, he had to arrive early on Sunday. So he's going to change of plans. The plan originally was for him not to come at all, but now that he's on this prestigious committee, the rules committee, competition committee, D'Amico's doing a full 5 days of the combine. He won't be here, I'm told, over the weekend, but he's here all the way through Thursday.
So maybe you could. You carry a lot of weight up there. Maybe you could talk him into doing a media scrum with you guys.
I'm going to ask David Wolf from Texans PR is here, and he's doing a great job. He did a great job of getting us Nick Caserio. We would love to talk to D'Amico. It's always good to hear from him, and it'd be interesting to hear more comments like we heard from Nick about the running back position. And I want to drop in this nugget, Randy. I'm hearing that they're preparing to make a run at these high-end running backs, and that includes the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III. We don't know yet. I'm not saying they're going to sign the guy, but remember when they went after Saquon Barkley, they were outbid by a couple million per year. They have
interest. Yeah,
they have interest, and there's people that are certainly interested in the Texans, so it's mutual, and we'll see. But it's a bidding war when it comes to a guy like Kenneth Walker III. They'll be very expensive, and we don't think Breece Hall is going to make it to free agency now. And you saw the Dallas Cowboys kind of set the high-end market, 3 years, $24 million, $8 million a year for Javonte Williams, holding for their starting running back. So he's not going to free agency. There'll be some other guys like Travis Etienne Jr. and Rico Dowdle that will also be on the Texans list. But I expect them to get a running back to replace Joe Mixon during this free agency, and then we'll see, how that works in tandem with Woody Marks. They'll explore the draft, but I think the better alternative for them is to get a veteran.
Very good. A lot of moving parts. NFL Combine Week is just beginning. Have a good week down there. I know you're going to be talking to a lot of people and watch a lot of players as well. And we'll look for all your coverage on click2houston.com, man. Good stuff.
Thanks, Randy. And just to give people a scene of where I am, this is the second floor of the JW Marriott. I'm looking at the Starbucks where they had that big dust up, the argument. They nearly got into a fight. Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz nearly had a media brawl last year here. That was the talk of the combine, and NFL security got involved and all that stuff. But they didn't fight. They argued, and it's kind of nothing funnier than a reporter argument or a reporter fight. But that happened, and I'm standing a few feet away from where that happened. JW Marriott, you've been here. This is kind of a hub for activity. A lot of people like to hang out here at night, and great place to run into people.
It'll probably be the hangout at the Final Four in a few weeks too. So,
it's a great place.
No doubt about that. So keep an eye on that, man. That's the stuff behind the scenes. People love hearing that, especially dust ups with reporters.
Yeah, and you've been seeing Randy as people walking behind me. You can kind of catch a glimpse. You see different NFL team personnel, sports agents, and sometimes you see some head coaches and GMs. Yeah. And so you see some famous people here. But, that's the scene here at the NFL Scouting Combine.
All right. Go work it. Our insider, Aaron Wilson, for click2houston.com. Aaron, thanks for the time. We'll talk during the week and get some more scoop from the NFL Combine. So long for now, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Randy. Appreciate you.